Have you ever opened your eyes to a new day and felt a quiet nudge, a sense that something in your body isn't quite as it should be? Those early hours, when the world is still soft and the coffee's just starting to brew, are often when our bodies speak to us most clearly. As we move into our later years, our 60s, 70s, and beyond, it's tempting to brush off these small changes. A little tiredness, a strange ache, we tell ourselves it's just aging, a restless night, or life's usual ups and downs. But what if those morning moments are your body's way of gently asking you to listen, to pay attention to something that could change your path? Today, we're exploring 7 signs that might greet you in the morning, signs that could hint at an underlying cancer that hasn't yet been found. Now, I know cancer is a word that can feel like a heavy weight on your heart, but this video isn't here to stir fear. It's here to arm you with knowledge, to empower you to notice what your body's saying so you can act early. Catching cancer early can transform a challenge into a chance for treatment, healing, and more mornings filled with the people and moments you love. These signs come from patterns doctors have seen over and over in their patients. Subtle clues that, when they linger, deserve your care. No single sign means cancer, but together, they're like a quiet call for attention, urging you to pause and check in. So, please stay with me until the end, because the 7th sign is one too many of us wave off as just getting older or feeling stressed. Yet doctors say it's a powerful clue when you know what to look for. Before we dive in, do me a favor, tap that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't yet. It's like joining a warm circle of friends who care about staying strong and well. If something strikes a chord as we go, drop a comment. Your thoughts are like candles, lighting up this community and helping others feel less alone. Let's get started. Sign 1, persistent morning fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. We've all had mornings where we wake up feeling a bit off, haven't we? Maybe the bed wasn't quite right, or a worry kept you tossing. As seniors, we often smile and say, "Oh, that's just what happens when you're my age." But there's a difference between a sleepy morning and waking up every day feeling like you've been carrying a heavy load all night. If you're opening your eyes to a deep, foggy exhaustion that doesn't lift, no matter how many hours you've slept or how strong your coffee is, it's time to take a closer look. This isn't the kind of tiredness that a good nap or a sunny day can chase away. It's a weariness that settles into your bones, making even small joys, like setting the table for breakfast or strolling to the mailbox, feel like a mountain to climb. Your mind might feel like it's wading through fog, and your body moves slower, as if it's running on half power. Take Arthur, 74, a retired teacher who loved his daily walks by the lake. He started waking up so drained that even tying his shoes felt daunting. He blamed it on aging, but his daughter noticed he was napping more and seemed distant in the mornings. A blood test revealed early-stage lymphoma, and because it was caught early, Arthur's treatment helped him regain his energy, step by step. Why does this happen? Cancers like leukemia, lymphoma, or even tumors in the colon or pancreas can disrupt your body's energy at its core, sometimes by affecting blood cells or triggering inflammation. Studies suggest that up to 80% of cancer patients report unusual fatigue as an early symptom, often lingering for months before other signs appear. For seniors, we might shrug this off, thinking it's just the body slowing down or a sign we need to push through. But this fatigue is your body's gentle nudge, asking for your attention. In your heart, this exhaustion can dim the spark that makes mornings special, stealing the joy of a quiet moment with a book or a laugh with a grandchild. In your daily life, it might pull you back from plans, leaving you feeling more isolated than you'd like. If this sounds like you, try keeping a simple notebook by your bed. Jot down how you feel each morning, how heavy, how foggy, and whether rest makes a dent. Share this with your doctor. It could lead to tests like blood work or imaging that catch something early. At home, start your day with a glass of water or gentle stretches to wake your body. But if the fatigue stays, don't wait. Make that call. Catching this early could mean more mornings where you feel like you again, ready to greet the day with strength. Now let's turn to another sign that often slips under the radar but carries a message just as important. Sign 2, drenching night sweats. There's nothing quite like the shock of waking up in the middle of the night, Your nightgown or sheets soaked through? Is there? It's unsettling, like your body's playing a trick you didn't sign up for. A little sweating at night is no big deal. Maybe the room's too warm, or you're wrapped in too many blankets. But if you're waking up drenched, as if you've been caught in a rainstorm, and there's no obvious cause like a hot bedroom or menopause, it's a sign your body's trying to tell you something. For seniors, this can be a critical clue, especially when it happens night after night. These aren't just damp sheets. They're the kind of sweats that leave you clammy, chilled, and reaching for a towel. Margaret, 76, a retired librarian, thought her night sweats were just her old heater acting up. She tried lighter pajamas, a fan by the bed, even cracking the window in winter, but she still woke up soaked. When she finally mentioned it to her doctor, tests revealed early-stage leukemia. Because she acted early, Margaret's treatment was less invasive, and she's back to her book club, sharing stories under cooler nights. Drenching night sweats are often linked to blood cancers like lymphoma or leukemia, but they can also signal cancers in the liver or kidneys. They happen because these conditions can throw off your body's temperature control, causing intense sweating even in a chilly room. Research shows that about 20% of lymphoma patients notice night sweats as an early sign, often before weight loss or lumps appear. As seniors, we might hesitate to bring this up, thinking it's embarrassing or not worth the doctor's time. But those soaked sheets are your body's way of sounding an alert. For your spirit, night sweats can steal the rest that makes mornings feel hopeful, leaving you tired and less ready to face the day. In your daily life, they might make you shy away from overnight visits with family or friends, worried about explaining the mess. If this is happening, start by noting how often it occurs and whether it's paired with fever or fatigue. Try a cooler room or breathable cotton bedding, but if the sweats don't stop, tell your doctor. They might suggest blood tests or a scan to dig deeper. Acting early could mean reclaiming restful nights and confident mornings. This sign isn't one to ignore. Let's look at another that's just as subtle but equally vital. Sign 3. Unexplained weight loss. Losing a few pounds can feel like a happy accident, can it? Maybe your jeans fit a bit looser, or your reflection looks a touch leaner. But when weight slips away without any effort, no new diet, no extra walks, no changes at all, it's like your body's ringing a bell you can't ignore. For seniors, unexplained weight loss is a common early sign of cancers like pancreatic, stomach, or lung cancer, and it's not something to cheer without understanding why. This isn't about dropping a pound or two after a busy week. It's noticing your belts need tightening, your rings slide off, or your face looks thinner in the mirror, all without trying. Thomas, 80, a retired carpenter, started noticing his work shirts hanging loose, even though he ate his usual oatmeal and sandwiches every day. He thought it was just his body settling with age, but his son saw how gaunt his cheeks looked at a family barbecue. Tests revealed early-stage pancreatic cancer, and because it was caught early, Thomas had more treatment options, helping him stay strong for his grandkids' soccer games. Why does this happen? Cancers can change how your body uses nutrients or ramp up your metabolism, burning energy even when you're resting. Studies estimate that up to 40% of cancer patients experience unintentional weight loss before diagnosis, sometimes losing 10% or more of their body weight. As seniors, we might see this as a perk or assume it's normal, especially if we've been hoping to slim down. But it's your body's way of asking for a closer look. In your heart, this change can stir unease, making you feel less like yourself or worry about looking frail. In your daily life, it might shift how others see you. Friends asking if you're okay, their concern a mirror to your own. If you're noticing this, track your weight weekly with a simple scale, noting how much changes and over what time. Tell your doctor, who might order blood tests, a CT scan, or a specialist referral. At home, focus on nutrient-packed meals. Think hearty stews or smoothies with protein to keep your strength up. Catching this early could mean more days filled with the energy to cook, laugh, and live fully. Let's move to another sign that's easy to miss but carries a powerful message. Sign 4. Persistent morning cough or blood and saliva. A little cough when you first wake up feels familiar, doesn't it? Maybe it's dry air, a tickle from last night's dinner, or the remnants of a cold. As seniors, we're used to clearing our throats in the morning, especially if allergies or a stuffy room are at play. But if you're waking up with a cough that lingers, day after day, deeper than usual, or paired with blood in your saliva, it's your body's way of raising a quiet alarm. This isn't just a morning tickle. A persistent cough, especially one that brings up blood, even a faint streak, can point to cancers in the lungs, throat, or esophagus. When you lie flat all night, fluids or irritation can build, making symptoms stand out when you first stir. Patricia, 67, a retired nurse, thought her morning cough was just pollen in the air. But when she noticed a pinkish tint in her saliva one morning, she made an appointment. A scan found a small lung tumor, caught early enough for treatment, that let her keep volunteering at her local library. Lung cancer is often linked to a chronic cough, with about half of patients reporting it early, according to cancer research. Blood and saliva might show as a faint red or rusty hue, and it's always a reason to act, even if it's rare. As seniors, we might blame a cough on old habits like years of smoking, or think blood is just a fluke. But these are your body's way of asking for care. A stubborn cough can dim your morning's promise, making you dread the day before it starts. In your daily life, it might make you hesitate to join conversations, worried about coughing in public. If this sounds familiar, track the cough's duration and any blood, even small amounts. A humidifier might ease irritation, but don't let it mask the issue. Tell your doctor. They might suggest a chest x-ray or bronchoscopy. Catching this early could mean keeping your breath for the moments that matter. Story time with grandkids, a walk in the park. Let's turn to another sign that's small but significant. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Sign 5. Swollen or hard lumps in the neck or armpits. Mornings are when we often notice our bodies most, aren't they? Brushing your teeth, pulling on a shirt, feeling the contours of your neck or armpits. If you pause over a small bump that wasn't there before, a hard, painless lump under your jaw, in your neck, or near your armpit, it's a sign your body's asking you to listen. For seniors, these lumps are easy to overlook, especially if they don't hurt. We might think they're just a quirk, a swollen gland from a cold. But a lump that lingers could be an early clue to cancers like lymphoma or metastatic cancers. Lymph nodes swell when your body's fighting, and in cancer they can turn firm or rubbery, often without pain. Evelyn, 72, a retired florist, felt a small lump under her chin while washing her face one morning. It was painless, so she figured it would fade. But a month later, it was still there, slightly larger. Tests showed early-stage lymphoma, and catching it early meant Evelyn's treatment was gentler, letting her keep arranging flowers for her church. Research shows that persistent lymph node swelling is a key symptom in about 60% of lymphoma cases, often noticed long before other signs. As seniors, we might delay mentioning these, thinking they're too small or fearing the worst. But they're your body's way of sending a signal. In your heart, a lump can spark worry, clouding your morning calm with questions. In your daily life, it might make you avoid close moments like hugs, fearing someone will notice. If you find a lump, check it gently each day for a week. Note its size, texture, and whether it moves. Then tell your doctor, who might order an ultrasound or biopsy. Avoid pressing it, which can irritate the area. Acting early could mean a simpler path to healing, giving you more mornings to feel strong and whole. Let's look at another sign that's easy to dismiss, but vital to notice. Sign 6, unexplained skin changes. Your skin tells a story, doesn't it? Every line, every mark, a chapter of your life's adventures. As seniors, we're used to new spots popping up, freckles, age spots, little quirks of time. But if you're waking up and noticing a new mole or an old one that's changing, growing larger, shifting color, or looking uneven, it's your body's way of asking for a closer look. Skin cancer, especially melanoma, can appear without fanfare, often most noticeable in the morning light as you wash your face or dress. Clara, 70, a retired baker, spotted a mole on her forearm that had darkened from brown to nearly black over a few months. She thought it was just another age spot, but her granddaughter urged her to check it. A dermatologist diagnosed melanoma, caught early enough for a simple removal that let Clara keep baking pies for her family. Melanoma is linked to changing moles, with about 20% of cases showing up as morning notice changes per dermatology studies. These might be asymmetrical, with jagged edges or colors like red or black. As seniors, we might wave these off, especially on sun-worn skin from years outdoors. But your skin is your body's largest organ, always sharing its truth. In your heart, a new mark can stir unease, making you cover up or avoid mirrors. In your daily life, it might make you skip summer outings, worried about showing skin. If you see something odd, take a photo to track changes and show your doctor. A dermatologist's quick check can catch issues early. At home, use sunscreen and loose clothing, even on cloudy days. Let's move to our final sign, one that's often mistaken for something else but carries a big message. Sign 7. Chronic digestive issues. Mornings are a time for quiet rituals, aren't they? That first sip of tea, the stretch before the day begins. But if you're waking up with bloating, nausea, or a gnawing ache in your stomach that lingers, unrelieved by breakfast or antacids, it's more than a passing discomfort. For seniors, digestive issues are easy to shrug off. Maybe it's last night's spicy dinner, a bit of indigestion, or just how things are now. But when these feelings persist, they could point to cancers in the stomach, pancreas, or colon. Linda, 75, a retired seamstress, woke up every morning with bloating and a sense of fullness, even before eating. She thought it was just her stomach slowing down with age, but when it didn't stop, she saw her doctor. Tests found early-stage stomach cancer, and catching it early gave Linda more treatment options, letting her keep sewing quilts for her community. About 30% of stomach cancer patients report persistent digestive discomfort early on, per medical studies, often months before other signs. As seniors, we might keep these to ourselves, thinking they're too vague or not worth mentioning. But your gut is your body's engine, and it's always signaling when something's off. For your spirit, this discomfort can sap your morning's joy, making meals less inviting. In your daily life, it might make you skip dinners with friends, worried about nausea or needing to step away. Track your symptoms, when they start, how long they last, and what eases them. Try small, bland meals like oatmeal, but don't let that replace a doctor's visit. Your doctor might suggest blood tests, an endoscopy, or a scan. If this resonates, drop number 7 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. It's like having a friend nudge you to stay well. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts. Waking up should feel like a fresh page, shouldn't it? A moment when the world feels gentle and the day holds promise. But sometimes, it's in those quiet morning hours that our bodies share their most important truths. A fatigue that rest can't touch, night sweats that soak through, weight slipping away, a cough that lingers, a lump that stays, a mole that changes, or a stomach that won't settle. These are your body's way of saying, please listen to me. They're not a sentence, not a confirmation of cancer, but they're signals, like a trusted friend leaning in to say, let's take a look at this together. As seniors, it's so easy to dismiss these, to say, it's just age, or I don't want to trouble anyone. But you're not a trouble, you're a person, with stories to share, meals to cook, and mornings to cherish. Ignoring these signs might delay a chance to act, to find treatment that keeps you strong for the life you love. Early detection is your strength, your way of saying, I'm here and I'm choosing my health. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, pick up the phone, call your doctor, and share what you've noticed. A simple test, a quick visit could be the step that gives you years more. Of laughter, of sunrises, of moments that matter. Thank you for sharing this time with me, for sitting in this space of care and courage. If these signs stirred something in you, or if you've noticed changes in your own health, please drop a comment below. What's one thing you learned, or one step you'll take? Your words are like bridges, connecting us all in this community of strength. And if this video spoke to you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this gentle nudge. It's a small act that helps keep this circle growing. Your support means the world to Elder Soul Journal, a place for aging with wisdom and heart. Here's to mornings that feel like hope and a life that glows steady and true. See you in the next video.